Hi. Yes, I'm alive. And also, I'm sorry that I disappeared for a month and a half. Truth is, I was gone for about like 61 days to do a 50-day challenge across different social media platforms. And don't worry, I'm gonna tell you all about it like I always do, starting from the beginning all the way until the end. So this is your chance to go grab your water, go grab your coffee, go walk your dog, start doing your daily chores because I am going to pretend that we're in a long distance relationship and I'm going to spill my guts. So here we go. Wow, I don't even know where to begin because there's just so much has happened in the past 2 months. It all started on July 3rd. Well, actually, everything began the day before July 3rd. So I believe it was the weekend, and I was at Taro's, and we had dinner. So after dinner, we were just gonna go watch Umbrella Academy because that is our latest obsessions and the storytelling, the plot line, everything is just so fantastic. Okay, this is not about Umbrella Academy. This is my ADHD kicking in. So we were just chilling. And then Taro, who was at the time working on like multiple projects, I think he had like maybe like five or six projects all going on at the same time. And it was insane. I don't know. I did not know how he was handling all of that. And eventually, we had to put a pause on some of them so that he could kind of just be a human again. But before that, he was looking into expanding his brand and his projects through short forms. So he had been creating shorts and TikToks with his friend, his coworker. And he was looking at different ways to, I guess, draw tractions to his channel. And then one thing he came across with was something called Project 50. And I had no idea what Project 50 is because one, I don't TikTok. Two, I do Instagram Reels, but the things that I watch, they're like memes. So they're not really like challenge based stuff. So he showed me, he was like, hey, there's this thing called Project 50. And I was like, not really paying attention to him. I'm like watching TV. I'm like, uh huh. And then he said, I was like, what's that? And he told me it's where you set 5 goals and you dedicate 50 days to do that goal. And immediately my brain was like, hell no. Listen, 50 days? Are you kidding me? That's a big commitment. So from the get go, my mindset was that there's no way I can complete this. I, I don't want to do it. It's too much work. I'm busy. I have to work. I have to prep class. I'm working on my long form project. So at the time I was working on this video, but it was nowhere near done. Like I had the script written, I recorded the voiceover, I started collecting some clips for my videos, but it was not put together. I was still making it. And now, at this point in time, I have this very, very notorious reputation of only pushing out content every season. Like honestly, I know my channel is called Julie Season on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram now, but it shouldn't be like that. If you want to gain more traction, if you want to have more audience, then you have to, show up for yourself. So I was making like 2 videos per year. I'm not even kidding. I think there's only a total of 5 videos on my channel at the time that I'm recording this, which is what day is today? August 26th. And it has been like 2 years of having this channel. So that is very like, hello, what are you doing? Are you like, Julie, you're not freaking Li Ziqi out there growing bamboos and then making like freaking cooking videos from scratch. You're just writing a script, recording voiceover, filming or collecting clips to match your story plot, and then you just boop, put them out in the world. What is taking forever? Well, what was taking forever was this toxic relationship I had with perfectionism. Like I always wanted to It's like I have a vision of how I want my videos to be, and then on the way of getting there, I realized there are these obstacles, and then I'm telling myself that, oh, in order for me to make it the way I wanted to, I need to like wait it out, or I need to sort out this problem first. But I also have another toxic relationship with procrastination. So I'm a procrastinating perfectionist, which is just the worst combination ever if you are a creator. So I was wrapping myself in this self-proclaimed creative block for like a while. And then Taro was thinking, he's like, hey, how about we do this challenge together so we keep each other accountable, because, I want to grow my contents online on social media through shorts, and you hate shorts. I'm like, I absolutely I absolutely hated shorts or TikTok. Like I refuse to consume them. Like I just feel like in my mind, I guess I was on this high horse of, oh, like shorts are just for, very bite-sized consumption. Like it's nothing really meaningful to put in shorts. And I don't like how I don't have enough time to tell the story the way I want it, or, have like a deeper connection. So I've always rejected this idea. But something Taro said really, I guess, he's really good at pissing me off. No, he's really good at pinpointing what is my weakness, like what I need to work on. And what I needed to work on was not only like my time management, right, and my conversion rates. So it was like, it's simple. Like just set up 5 easy goals that you can sustain for 50 days. Let's make a bet. I was like, okay, what are we betting on? So when we were in college, we played Diablo 3 together, and it was a blast. Like we have fun. But as you may have noticed, Blizzard was taking forever to squeeze out Diablo 4. So now that Diablo 4 is out, we're like, ooh, we should play Diablo 4 together. But then we looked at the price tag. It was like, I think the version that we wanted was almost like $100. And then we're about listen, I just bought FIFA 23 on a discount. I still haven't like repurchased GTA 5 yet. And I still have freaking The Last of Us Part 2 sitting in my archive. I don't have the funds or like the mental capacity to pick up another game. But he was saying, whoever does not finish the series would have Uni was sleep talking. Would have to purchase the game on their own. So I was like, oh, hell yeah, I'm down. You're gonna lose. So this is the part of me that is making false promises, right? I'm telling myself, yeah, there's no way. There's no way I'm gonna buy that game alone, because if we both complete it, we'll split it 50-50 even. So I remember I was laying on the bed, like looking at the ceiling and just contemplating on, am I really down for this challenge? Because I've never done something like that, creating content every single day. My perfectionism is going to kill me. My procrastination is going to kill me. So I was like, shoot, I shouldn't have said yes. But at this point, it's too late, right? So he's already like brainstorming ideas, and then he's giving me ideas as well. It's like, you know, you can do this. Your goals can be like this. How about you think of 5 goals that you enjoy doing, blah, blah, blah. So I'm laying there contemplating my life choices. Then like eventually we were bouncing off of each other to select what would be my 5 goals. And I decided like that if I have to do this for 50 days straight, right, it needs to be something that is healing for me, something that is productive, and something is also like semi-challenging. So the 5 goals that I picked was 1, I'm going to work out every single day for at least 30 minutes. 2, I'm going to study Korean, pick up like at least 1 grammar, like just learn 1 grammar. You don't have to master it, just learn it. Another thing was to read. I've always told myself that, oh, like I want to read. I wish I could read more. You can. You just never started. So the third one is reading at least 1 chapter a day of any book of my choosing. I have so many unfinished story. It's insane. And I keep buying books because I want to read them. And then what is the 4th one? 4th one is analyze a content creator. So up until this point, right? I've been a casual consumer. Like I'm just like you. I go on YouTube, I watch videos to feel good. I've never really sat down and analyzed, what makes this creator successful. What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? What is something that I can learn and apply to my content creation process? And the last one, the fifth one, was to play with Uni, spend some quality time with her at least every single day so I can, de-stress and also give her the attention that she deserves, right? Right, Uni? Girl, please. Okay, she's licking her toes. I can't do this. So that all happened on Sunday, so kind of like the tail end of Sunday, the last few hours. I'm like prepping for my classes, and I'm also thinking, how am I gonna make this work? Because every fiber in my being is screaming at me saying, Julie, you don't have time. Like, dude, this no way. So this is what my daily schedule looked like before I started Project 50. So I'll wake up sometime in the morning, right? Maybe like 8, maybe like 9. And then I'll get up, I'll prep for my classes, I'll cook for myself. And then by that time, it's about like 12-ish, 1. And I have to leave my place no later than 2. Absolutely no later than 2 because my commute takes about like an hour and a half. And I get to my workplace at around 3:30. I start teaching from 4. On some days, I teach from 4 all the way to 10. And then I commute an hour and a half home. So I get home about like 11:30. So if you think about it, like I have more free time in the morning comparing to at night. So I'm like, okay, so I need to figure out a way to like capitalize my schedule. So my modified schedule was like so. I plan on waking up at 6:30 to edit because I wanted to give myself max amount of time to edit. Right now, with the shorts, I was thinking, no later than 1 minute because if it's more than 1 minute, then it's too long. It's supposed to be quick and short and sweet. So I'm like, okay, how long is it gonna take me to edit a 30-second video? To be honest, it can take me forever. But because of the constraint of me needing to leave and me needing to cook for myself, I'm like, okay, so if I wake up at like 6:30, let's say, takes me 3 hours. I know it sounds insane. Takes me 3 hours, then at least I'll be done around like 9 and 10-ish. And then I can go work out for 30 minutes, come back, shower, study Korean, read. I can even like read on the train, read on the subway, not the train. And then I can play with Uni when I come home. Perfect. Let's roll with it. So on Monday when I wake up, I start recording. Well, actually on day 1, I started finding clips that I needed to kind of tell my story, to tell the script that I've written on Sunday night. So day 1 script was, let me see what my day 1 script, I have Notion pulled up. I decided to organize everything on Notion because Notion saves life. I basically have my life revolved around this application. Hang on, let me find Project 50. I literally have it right here. Okay, let's go to short form, Project 50. Okay, here we go. Let me just read you what my day 1 script is because I will write the script here under this project task list that I've created, and every single day I'll just add a new entry and I could toggle between like different status. Is it not started, in progress, or done? So sometimes if I have like ideas for script, I would just very quickly write it down and then categorize it under not started. So when I have time, for example, when I'm on my commute back home, that's when I start writing my script. So I film everything in the morning and then, well, actually I edit first. And then after I finish editing at around 9, I start filming all the tasks that I'm completing. And then I commute to work, and on the commute, that's when I start posting it to social media. I will finish adding the music, finish adding the captions, and I will just leave it in my draft. And I will set up an alarm at around, I didn't know what time to pick because Taro told me that, usually for TikToks, in Korea, they are most active around 7. But I'm like, but I'm in class at that time. He was like, well, I was like, you know what? Then I'll just finish editing and posting and adding everything and just leave it in draft. So when it's break time for my class, I'll just upload it like that. And that's how I've been doing every single day at 7:55 because that's when my break time is for 50 days. So let me see my day one. So day one was very important because I needed to establish kind of like, what's going on? What's the setting? Why are you doing this? What are you going to do? Like, what's the purpose? Let me see. Day one. What'd I say? Is this even my script? I think so. Okay. Ooh, my script looked different on day one. She looks disorganized. Okay, I said, I moved to Korea a little over 2 years ago. I was a lost foreigner back then, but I've tried my best to transform this unfamiliar place into my home. Recently, life felt like a giant deja vu, and I'm feeling directionless again. So I revert back to the 5 things that helped me in the past and commit the next 50 days, to rediscovering my identity and finding my way once more. Come along, I'll see you on day 2. That was my voiceover for my day one, my day one clip. And then in the caption, I had to, explain what Project 50 is and then what were my 5 goals. So this was my caption. Project 50, a challenge for self-improvement. Living abroad has its pros and cons, and lately I've been stuck on the wrong side for a little bit too long. I'll be committing to 5 habits that have helped me in the past to clear my doubts and renew my sense of purpose, which I was kind of stuck in this limbo. And the big reason is, and I actually talked a little bit about this in my last podcast because that's what happened last time when we went on a glamping trip. After we had dinner, we were just sitting there and then kind of just spilling our hearts a little bit. And I was feeling very doubtful in the stuff that I was creating, not because I had doubts about what I've said. I think the videos that I've created, and you might find this biased because, I made those videos, but the concept behind the videos that I've created, I want them to be like this evergreen concept. It's like something you can come back and look at it even 10 years later. So it's just a lot of personal stuff and emotions that I think would resonate with others. But the thing is, I put a lot of sweat and tears. Sure, I put a lot of sweat and tear into it. And when I put it out, the numbers do not reflect like the amount of effort that I put in. And because of that, naturally I get discouraged, thinking, is it not generating views because it's not good? Or people are not giving it attention because they think it doesn't deserve their attention. Like, are these thoughts that I've been curating meaningless to the world? So I was stuck in that bubble for ever since that trip, and I was losing motivation to edit. It was like whenever I try to edit my long form video, I started feeling like, Julie, do people even care? Like, are you gonna get 50 views again on your video? Like, you've been editing this for like weeks. Is that how you want to spend your time? But at the time I didn't understand it the way that I do now. So, wait, what was I talking about? wait. I swear I have undiagnosed ADHD. Hold on, hang on. Let me just press rewind on my brain real quick. Okay, I've rewound everything and I've now caught up with my brain frequency. So yes, another reason why I started this Project 50 was to kind of get out of this rut by forcing myself to create every single day, even if I don't feel any kind of inspiration. Because I felt like before, my creative process was very inspiration driven. And on the days I don't feel quote unquote inspired, I don't perform. And that's not a good habit because if you wait on inspiration, which coincidentally, this is something I've talked about in one of my Project 50 days. If you wait on inspirations, you will not get to where you want to be, because a lot of content creation is practice, and you write on days that you feel inspired and you write on the days that you don't feel inspired. That's just how you get better. So I start on day one. And of course, day one, I want to present like the best video just to set the tone, right? So I edit it the way I have before. Takes a long time. Yes, I know. And then I post it out. So I have everything uploaded to YouTube, to TikTok, to Instagram. Like I made separate accounts. So I made a new TikTok account. I made a new Instagram account just dedicated to posting this Project 50 and more short form contents in the future. So I have it ready. I went to work out. And actually, out of all the 5 goals, I think the toughest one I thought was going to be for me was working out every single day. Because the most I've ever worked out in my life in a week was maybe like 3 times, like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Like I've never worked out more than that. But now I have to work out every single day. Insane. Like I thought in my brain, it was an insane concept. But it works. It worked, I guess, past tense because it's finished. And it became kind of like it was like something I kind of sort of look forward to. And part of recording me completing these 5 tasks was that you're doing the same 5 tasks every single day. Like you can't use the same, well, you could, but I don't want to. That's the stubborn part of me, is that I know that I have these constraints. I know I have this time constraint. I need to be able to find a way to maintain the editing style that I want. So be it. So I'm like looking for creative ways to film me doing these things. And it was fun in the beginning until I got to maybe like day 25. Because then I truly like, oh my gosh, what more can I do, right? It's like I've done it this way, I've done it that way, and I'm like recording snippets of just life in between my place and then school, or I will arrive to school a little bit early to film at school as well, but I'm just squeezing in every bit of life that I can capture throughout my busy day. And when I got to day 25, I kind of hit a wall. One, because, like these tasks and the shots that I was taking was kind of hitting a limit. Like I don't know how to freshen it up anymore without it looking boring, because I still wanted to look engaging. I still wanted to give you new perspectives. And also another thing was inching towards me inevitably. Wow, that was inching towards me inevitably. Excuse me. Was summer camp. So I teach. I'm a teacher. And during summer season, in the summer, students go on break, right? But in Asia, parents usually capitalize that time by sending students on not like Girl Scout camp, but more like English camp, math camp, coding camp, violin camp. Some, like very few, send them to like retreats and like hockey camp, like soccer camp. But we always have summer camp and we always have winter camp. Like I've talked about this in the past. If you've been listening to me, you know the drill. The thing is, I would have classes in the morning as well as in the afternoon and evening. So that squeezes my time even more. Like, okay, so wait a minute. In the morning, that's when I edit and I do my filming. How am I going to do that now with morning classes? Well, if there's a will, there's a way, okay? Because I was not, at this point, I'm halfway through. There's no way that I was gonna let it go. It's like in the beginning, my mindset was, I can't make it, but let me just see how far I'll go. But then once I get towards like, when I break past the 10s, when I break past the 20s, when I hit 25, I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. I'm like halfway done. So there's no way that we're gonna give up now because we're so close, right? Like I didn't think I was gonna make it to 25, but here we are. So let's push all the way to 50. So I'm like, okay, I need to switch it up. Like, what can I do to keep myself motivated while still, while still abiding to this tighter schedule that I have now? And something that I started doing since day 25 was that, every single day I was analyzing a creator and I would tell in my script like what I've learned that day. So for example, on day 5, this is my script. Oh, day 5 was a Friday. Okay, perfect. Project 50, day 5. And eventually I added in different elements by watching other content creators. So I used to start my intro with Project 50, day 5, because that first few seconds is very important. You gotta grab their attention, right? And you also need to tell them what the rest of the video entails, so they decide to, instead of scrolling through, they will stay and watch a little bit of your shorts. So on day 5, I still haven't added in the element of saying Project 50 day blah 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 in Seoul. Let me see, when did I start saying that? I think I started saying that around, starting day 12, I started saying Project 50 day 12 blah blah blah. But this is what my script sounded like in the beginning with everything. Project 50 day 5. Friday calls for old habits and new toys. Today's Korean grammar is 주실래요? Then a bit of strength training, another chapter of Suspect X, so that was the book that I was reading, next to the mood light I ordered last night. Today's feature creator, Louis, reminded me of the power of vulnerability, how to capitalize caption, and various cinematography tips tucked in bingeable series. It's only a 10th of the journey. We still have a long way to go, so let's keep moving and see you on day 6. So I would, at the end of my script, I would leave this part to kind of like, hey, see you tomorrow. So kind of creating this illusion that, it's gonna happen tomorrow, so I'm gonna see you tomorrow, assuming that you're gonna be there. And then in the script, I'll tell you, what was the Korean grammar that I learned? What did I do for workout? Was it arms? Was it core? Was it, cardio? And then what books did I read? And what I learned from the content creator. And I did that for so long until let me see. Until day... Ooh, I started switching up early. I started switching it up in day... Ooh, in the 10s. I thought I started switching in the 20s. Everything feels like a blur now. Like I would have faint memories of what I've covered, but I wouldn't remember which day it was. Like I even have to go back to Notion and look at my script and see what I said that day. Okay, I started switching in day 13. Yeah. Okay. So day 13 script started switching and it sounded like this. Project 50 day 13 in Seoul. I don't know who needs to hear this, but the timing is always now, because there might not be a next before you give in to self-doubt. I still regret wasting my 20s neglecting my passion because of fear. But what is life but a big trial and error? If it's a thought that haunts you in the shower when you look into the mirror, I say go for it. Commit now and figure it out. I'll see you on day 14. So instead of telling them what I've learned and what I've done that day, I left it in the caption. And my caption got progressively longer. But then one thing that we kind of made promise to each other in the beginning of this project was that Taro watches my video every single day and he gives me constructive feedbacks. So before I was kind of like a soft tofu. Like I get very sensitive when I receive criticism, especially coming from him, because he's very blunt, very honest. So he's the type of person that gives you a solution 100% of the time. And sometimes I just want some support, But anyways, we made a promise. He said that, throughout this project, I want to help you. I want to help you grow. I want to help you develop a style. So with that said, I'm going to tell you what we should try to make your videos better. So he has been giving me tips like, hey, in the beginning, why don't you say in Seoul so people know that, oh, this is happening in Seoul. I'm interested about Seoul, so let me keep on watching. How about you make your content shorter? How about you make your captions this way? How about you tell them what task you do in the caption? So I started reshaping the way I was creating my script, reshaping the way that I was making. I started shrinking down this lengthy caption that I had. So like in the caption, I would have said like, today I learned about this Korean grammar. Today I read about this book. Today I learned from this content creator. But then, Taro came around and told me that, hey, I'm not reading your captions. And, immediately I'm like, that hurt me in the meow meow. Okay, I put so much effort into writing them. I find I try to squeeze in the time that I have between commute. So I would write it. I would write my script on the bus, or I would write my script on the subway, which that's when I usually take like a quick nap in between because then I get tired. So you're telling me that I'm sacrificing so much of my time for you to not look at it? But then I know if he doesn't look at it, then other people are not looking at it too. So I'm like, okay, what do I need to do to change? So then when we get to the 20s, I started embracing, like script wise, I started embracing, instead of just telling you like what I do every single day, because, as supportive as you are as my friend or as a viewer, it gets stale, right? Because I know what you're gonna do every single day. I already know what to expect, then there's no element of surprise. So I started thinking, okay, what can I do to provide, one, to tell a story the way I want, because I wasn't gonna give that up. Two, to be genuine, because I didn't want to like give you something plastic. Three, that still hooks the viewer, like I want to give you something too, right? For your time. Because if you are not serving me, why would I stay and watch a content, right? And another thing I realized while doing Project 50, that I became a lot more honest with myself. Before, I was kind of approaching creating content from this rose tinted glass. I say what I want to say. I don't really care about, the viewers. I had this assumption that, if you're like supposed to see my content, this message will eventually get to the people who want to hear it. Maybe like 1% of possibility. Yes, the algorithm will push it to the right person, and then eventually they're gonna share it, or they're gonna see it and it gets recommended to different channels. But that's not a very like safe way to promote your content. I don't want to give up the way that I storytell, but I also need to consider what my viewers want to consume. So it's kind of like a 50-50. So I became honest with myself, even during editing, and that helps me cut down a lot of editing time too. Because before, I would edit the way I want. Now I'm like, when I'm like editing, I would talk to myself. I would just be stuck on the tiniest thing. I'm like, I kind of like this frame, but that one, like this one gives me more perspective, but this one, I just like the composition, and this one. And then I would pause and I would literally speak out loud. Julie, literally, nobody cares. Like, that's not what they want to see. So I would abandon the choice that old me would make and stick with the ones that was more like practical. So I became more straightforward, and I am very indecisive, and I still am in various aspects of my life. But in terms of like clip selections and sequencing, I think because of this fast pace of the challenge, which I only have this 2.5 hour-ish timeline between 6. Now I have to wake up at 6 because of morning classes, because I need to leave my place at 11:30. So I need to get ready, I need to eat, like I need to pack lunch and stuff, right? So I became a lot more decisive in just that compartment. So I was like, okay, how about I share like these thoughts that I have? And Taro chipped in and gave me those like some of those ideas too. You know, like you are always talking. It sounds like a chatterbox. You're always like talking to me about the most random things. Why don't you like put your thoughts into the videos? Like you can use those whenever you have like a idea that you want to talk about, just write it down. So I have this little yellow journal. So if you watch my Project 50 content, you'll see this yellow journal pop up a lot. Another thing I like to use in my storytelling is continuity. So you will see it kind of like connecting within different days. It's kind of like a symbolism for the challenge itself. Like that thing is my Pandora box. It holds all my ideas, all my shots. And sometimes when I get inspirations, sometimes when I finally get inspirations, I would write it down with pencil, and then I would go back and then edit it and then add more, like a list of the shots that I want to take to fulfill this story. So from what Taro told me, it kind of inspired me to dabble into, reaching back into my memory and think about, what are some things that I had problems with, like I struggle with, or I called my close friends to talk about, because those things are things that problems and issues I came across with while adulting, while living life abroad, while being a 20 nothing. So that kind of concept is going to resonate with people who are also abroad, also trying to adult, and being a 20 nothing. So I'm like, okay, let me just, let me package it with my own little ribbon and send it out into the universe. So we haven't talked about numbers because there's nothing really to talk about. I think all my videos averaged around 200 to 300 views on TikToks and Instagram. And YouTube is really the one that's like moody AF, because on YouTube, my day one video hit 1.7 thousand views. And at the time, I didn't really expect anything, because I know if I set my expectations too high, I'm going to be disappointed and I'm going to be discouraged and I won't be motivated to create videos from that point on. So, but there's always this part of you that wants to know, hey, how's my video doing? Because I spent a lot of time, right? So before I went to sleep, so for YouTube Shorts, I would post it every day on 10 p.m. here, Korean Standard Time. And the reason being is I feel like a lot of my YouTube viewers are in the Americas. So at that time, it's still like early in the morning, but I think it would be better than me posting it at 7 p.m. because that's going to be like butt crack of dawn, not even like in the middle of the night. No one's going to be watching it. So for TikToks and Reels, I'll be posting them at 7:55 p.m. And for YouTube exclusively, I would only post them at 10, and I have it like as a scheduled post. So the first video, the night before I went to sleep, so I posted it at 10, right? And then I hop on, like I get to bed around 12, 1, 45 views, right? I was like, you know what? It's what I expected, because I'm once again not attracting a lot of views. So I went to bed, and then when I woke up with a message from Taro. He's like, hey, like, really good job with the first one. I was like, I know, like, thanks. Because I thought he was talking about my editing style, right? Because I'm just editing the way that I was editing. And he's like, like you listen to me and then your videos are very like quick, fast paced. Nothing was longer than like a second or so, and that's good. But also like, don't let it get to your head. Usually first videos don't do this well. But I'm like, what are you talking about? I had like 45 views last night. He's like, he sent me a screenshot. It was sitting at 1.7. And I was like, whoa, what? No way. So I went on my end, so YouTube Studio, and it was indeed 1.7. I still remember that number. So I was getting this dopamine, right? And that was motivating me to keep going. But then this number will always stay around like 200, 190, kind of like that, which was normal, to be honest. Let me see. Let me go to my YouTube Studio and let me take a look. But then YouTube was the only platform that I would see this big fluctuation. Let me see day one. I can't even see day one. The most I can see is day 21. Okay, day one. Oh, day one sitting at 1.9. And then day two was at 200. Right. So I was like, oh, okay. Like that's a reality check. This is probably where my actual number will be. And then day three popped up again at 484. Then day four went down back to 300s. Day five went down back to 270-ish. Day six went up to 400. Day seven went down to 300. Day eight went up to 400. So like in the beginning, I was getting like 300s and 400s, but that didn't last long because once I get to day 10, day 11s in the 200s, day 12, 400s, day 13, 300s, out of nowhere, day 14, 982, like almost at 1K. So I'm like, what's going on? So that was, I think I remember that was the day I went out to meet a friend. Yes, for bagels. Okay, here we go. This is the script for day 14. Project 50, day 14 in Seoul. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's okay to give in to your cravings sometimes. It sounds ridiculous, but I was willing to overcome my social anxiety to head out for bagels. Luckily, I wasn't alone in my little venture, and even the gloomy monsoon decided to pause just for a moment. I like to think this is what life is about, the little but certain happiness. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll see you on day 15. Like, literally, that was my script. And the video, I think I had a little bit more fun with that video. I added some sound effects. Like, I had this Mario coin sound effect for when I consume like a bagel. Like it was a shot of me like shoving bagel in my face, but I had this moving subtitle in the sense it says like carb plus. So I was having fun with that one, and I guess that was something that they liked. And I'm like, woohoo, I'm at 900. Okay, day 15, we went back down to 200s. Okay, so it will go like this for a long time. So it was never really stable. Then, out of the blue, for no reason, because it bothered me for so long that I couldn't find a reason why it was doing that to me. But on day, this is actually, there was a day before day 40 where I hit under 100 on YouTube. I cannot find that day anymore, but I'm gonna assume it's one of the, maybe day 27, maybe day 24. Yes, day 24. That one I felt really strongly about. I think it hurts more when you put a lot more effort, when you really believe in the concept, but the numbers just didn't reflect. That really hurts me more than if I was not feeling creative that day, but I still put out a video, and that video did so because it's like humans crave closure, and I was not getting the closure that I needed because I put in so much effort into filming this. I had a lot of shots that I thought would deliver, but why are my views not reflecting that? So on day 24, it only got like under 100 something views. So I felt kind of really defeated. I remember going to Taro's and then unexpectedly cried when he hugged me. Like he's telling me like, hey, good job. You passed day 25. You're one day away from day 25. I'm really proud of you. And then I was just thinking about, I'm tearing up right now as we speak. I'm just thinking about this, like I was telling him, I don't understand why it's under 100. Like, was there something wrong with my script? Which I will even read the script to you. Here we go, day 24. Okay, Project 50, day 24 in Seoul. Unpopular opinion, but I think love is actually underrated. It's so easy to see the negatives around us, but the good is often appreciated when it's gone. There is so much love around us. Wait, hold on. Am I reading the wrong script? Okay, yeah, I was reading the wrong script. Sorry. Here, retake. Take 2. Project 50, day 24 in Seoul. Unpopular opinion, but I think love is actually underrated. It's so easy to focus on the negatives, but the good is often appreciated only when it's gone. Love permeates in our connection with others, within ourselves, and in our surroundings. Even if we feel incapable of giving the world anything else, I hope you'll choose to stay kind, for even a touch of kindness can be someone else's turning point. Spread love. I'll see you on day 25. Like, literally, that was my script. I thought it delivered, but it didn't. And I couldn't find the reason why, so I guess it gutted me even more. And then it kept on happening again. Like, it was as if my viewers were getting tired. So this is me interpreting the numbers from my end, right? Which in no way speaks for the reality of what was actually going on behind the algorithm. But my videos were hitting only 100s. So before, earlier days, I was hitting like some days on 600, some days, only like a handful of days were hitting 900s. And then some days 3, some days 4. But now I was consistently hitting 100 and I couldn't figure out for the life of me what was wrong. I was changing my captions. I was changing my script. I was trying to talk. I was changing my music because like I felt like music played a big part of introducing me to new timelines, like introducing me to other people's circles. So I was afraid to reuse the old. I was afraid to reuse trending music because I thought that, like that's, come on, like you're reusing music. But then eventually I got over that mindset of repurposing contents because you should do that and I encourage you to do so. Not only does it save time, but also, your contents can be multifaceted. Faceted? Whoa. Like you can use it for different things, right? And I encourage you to shoot contents that could be used in different ways because why not, right? And I kept hitting 100s until day 31 hitting 300s, day 32 hitting 700s, day 33 100s. And then bam, we get to day 40, which is a very ironic day. I was talking about my biggest insecurity, and that big insecurity was about numbers. Here it is. Oh gosh, here we go. Project 50 Day 40 in Seoul. My greatest challenge as a creator is the pursuit of validation. Despite pouring my heart and soul into my videos, the numbers have yet to meet my expectations. This had led me to question my ability as a storyteller and whether the thoughts I've curated are truly worth pursuing. Over time, I've come to realize that expecting the audience to readily embrace my narrative is somewhat idealistic. What I wish to express won't always align with what the audience desires. Although the numbers are a good indication of growth and reach, don't let them dim your fire. I know my stories deserve larger audience. What is left to do is find a balance between what I want to show and what the audience prefer to see. What is your biggest creative block? I'll see you on day 41. So in my script, I started taking, constructive criticisms from not only Taro, but also I was starting to get viewers, not a lot, but these are very consistent and I would even say dedicated viewers who come back, watch my video and comment every single day. So on some days where I'm in a rut, when I see these messages, it really I'm like, hey, Julie, maybe you're getting 51 views, but at least one person out of the 51 is willing to come back and watch your content every day and post a comment every day. I don't know where you are. I don't know who you are. But if you're listening to this by some odd chance, maybe you're clicking through. I'm thinking about posting this in my story. I don't know. I feel a little bit scared, but hey, Julie, people don't care. If they click on this video, then they care. And so don't be afraid of what the people who don't care thinks about what you're going to do. Just do it. And I'm just so thankful for these people because without them just showing me support, because I know Taro will support me no matter what, and I'm thankful for his support, but it's like having an outside voice validating you feels so empowering. Like I felt like, hey, maybe you're not the problem. You know, maybe the problem is the algorithm. Like, yes, you could do something to be favored by the algorithm, but maybe there's nothing wrong with you because these people clearly see what you're trying to say and they're willing to take the time to come back. So that helped me a lot, pushed me forward. And there's also this other viewer, he would consistently come back and then give me feedback. He was the person that told me, hey, how about like at the end of the video, you should, instead of posting the same thing in the comments, like, why don't you ask people to, what did he say? Let me find it. It's like, instead of asking people to read the comments, why don't you ask them a question? So you could boost your interaction with your viewers, right? So not only are they like watching stuff, they are also, it leaves them incentive to come back. Let me see which day was it. La la la, la la la. I think it was around like day cha cha cha. Music. Nope. 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 But eventually, after I started doing that, even though my engagement was little, my best friend out here really waving the flag, she's reposting my video every single day, which I am so thankful because I'm even afraid to do that myself, to be honest. When I repost my reels in the stories, I feel like, am I being obnoxious am I like being just flaunting my stuff in front of everyone's face? Like, hey, look at this, watch my video. It's like a part of me wants to grow organically, but a big part of that is I'm just afraid of what other people think. Like, will they think that, look at her, she's out here thinking that she could make it as a creator. Like, look at her out here trying to be a videographer. I was just framed in that mindset for so long, which, people probably don't even like care. If they want to watch my stuff, cool. If they don't want to watch my stuff, okay. Like, nothing. So what? Right? So this viewer said, da, 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 da. Oh, I saw this viewer. I actually pulled this viewer from one of my long form content. And he was just saying that, like, after I saw his comments, I started feeling very motivated, or I felt validated. He said, sometimes YouTube pushed me to the smallest channel, what is almost invisible to everyone. At 99% of the time, I don't even watch 3 seconds for, understanding what is it about. But that 1.1% is alive. Not just a blog, but inspiration. Not just a video about love, but storytelling about one part of interesting life. Not just a creator, but a human who have the kind of superpower that transform words and sound and text and video that have captured himself in a long period to experience emotions. Great story that I want to share with my closest people. Thank you, whoever you are, in any place, at any sense, just don't stop. Please do better, live better, share what makes you you. To humanity, for heartless people, everyone needs that sight that life is worth living to the end. Thank you. This person posted this. I had to take a picture of it and send it to Taro, and I was like, what is happening? And then this person kept coming back, and then one of the comments that he said was, dun, dun, oh my gosh, it's gonna take forever. Oh, and he also asked me, are you gonna come back to long form or are you gonna like stay short form? I was, to be honest, I am terrified of short form. I feel like I can't. Ooh, that was my stomach. I'm sorry, I've only had one McChicken today. I feel like I can't successfully tell my story the way I want to, so I feel very uncomfortable. So this challenge pushed me out of my comfort zone. And I didn't have room for excuses anymore. So I think that was really good. It pushed me out of my old mindset and it it showed me, or I guess I showed myself, that what I thought was impossible, what I thought was something that was unsuitable for me, I made it happen, and I made it all the way till the end. And of course, it is a one man show. I'm recording, and sometimes I ask Taro for help, but it was also the overwhelming amount of love that I received from, I guess, this small community that I built. I think I was able to get around, just from doing shorts alone, I got about like 50 new viewers across all platforms. Like before, my TikTok had maybe like 15 people following it. Now it's about 80. I know it sounds small, but still, hey, that's growth, right? And same thing with my YouTube. I was sitting at like 5 something, but now am I in the 6 now? Am I in the 6? What? Am I meeting Drake or something? Okay. I've gained, huh? If I started from 600, no, 500, let me see. I started in April, right? No, April, Julie, come on, get it together. I started in July. Okay, in July, I had audience. Let me go to the audience. In July, I had, returning viewers, new viewers. No, I want to see how many subscribers. July. Does it tell me where I was before I... Oh, maybe not. Wait, last 28 days? No, last 90 days, girl. Last 90 days. Okay. It's so funny. I wish I could show you. But if I go to my analytics on YouTube Studio, before July, my timeline is dead. She's flatline, okay? She's like gone to the other realm. But since I started posting shorts, I didn't hit like mega fame. Okay, that's not possible. But I was able to can I look at July alone? July alone, I had 79 new subscribers. August alone, I had 43 new subscribers. So I guess I did break 6 with break 6. I keep wanting to laugh with Project 50. Which is insane to me, because I'd never would have imagined that this kind of growth from shorts. We hear about this like fairy tale on the daily, like, hey, just start. You're gonna get thousands of followers by the end of the month, and your videos are gonna go viral. You're gonna have thousands of views. It didn't happen to me. I didn't expect it to, because I was so like overshadowed by this fear of just even breaking 100 views. But I was glad to have what I've had, like these people who would take the time to leave me encouragements. They, on day 50, I had this, actually, ever since I broke day 40, I had this fear of, what's next? It was kind of like graduation. Okay, this treacherous journey has come to an end. I'm so happy, but oh my God, what is next? I don't know what I'm gonna do after. Like, technically, I knew I was gonna finish the project that I was working on at the moment before I stopped to do Project 50. But like, I feel like I'm not as motivated, because with Project 50, it was demanding. It demanded me to create every single day. And there was no way that I could pause, because the moment that I pause, I lose. But with long form content, it's like, okay, I could be editing on this day, and the next day I don't feel like it, and I stop editing. And I was afraid that this momentum that I have building from short form content is going to stop once I stop posting shorts. Because why are people here? Well, they were here because of your shorts. So if you stop, maybe you're not going to stay. So I had that sitting on my chest since day 40, and I just wanted to push out all the meaningful stuff that I have left in me. Like, in a sense, I felt like I was saying goodbye. So, day 40, I talked about my biggest insecurities. Day 41, I talked about my struggle with perfectionism. Day 42, I talked about this default of me telling or convincing myself that I'm always okay, even though I'm not okay. Day 43, I talked about I talked about afraid to taking a break because I lived in such a fast-paced society. Day 44, I talked about like this relationship between your identity and words, how words have power. And I think that's how I was able to pick myself up when I was really at a dark place. I want to say 2 years ago. I don't even remember when was it. It was before I adopted my cat Uni. Yeah, 2 years ago. So the relationship I built with words. Day 46, I talked about, hoarding items, hoarding memories, and not letting them go because I feel like I'm not ready to move on. Day 47, whoa, girl, why is this out of order? Day 47, I talked about my old mindset of waiting for inspiration to strike to create. Day 48, I talked about not being afraid to take vacation, not being able to take vacation. Day 49 is about the fear of saying goodbye. So here it is. Project 50 Day 49 in Seoul. Saying goodbye is never easy. Regardless of the challenges we face, each journey has its moment of joy and struggle. To quote a true legend, Iron Man once said, "Part of the journey is the end." There are instances when we wish to linger in the present rather than push forward to the finish line because we're not yet prepared to move on. And that's all right. Our stories are never truly over. So I'll see you tomorrow, not for the last time, but for the grand finale of this incredible journey. Which one was your favorite episode? I'll see you on day 50. And this was me preparing myself to say goodbye. And I was like, instead of sitting on this, why don't I just put it out and put it in the video? And surprisingly, I got some feedback on like people sharing what their favorite episode is. And then I've made so many of them, I don't remember what it is. So I actually went back and then rewatched them. And it felt like it was such a strange feeling. It was like deja vu, deja vu in the sense that, I made this. So I have memories of creating this. But in another sense, it's like, wow, I don't even recognize the person that made this on day XYZ because I've come such a long way and things have changed so drastically. And then day 50 was that, grand finale of things where I just recap everything. And this is what I condensed it down to. I said, Project 50, Day 50 in Seoul. It's so weird. In the beginning, it was hard to say Project 50 Day blah, blah, blah in Seoul because I needed to say it really quickly for it to squeeze in that first 2 seconds. But then now when I say Project 50, Day 50, it was like, wow, this is it. That's the end. In the grand scheme of things, nothing has changed drastically. I didn't explode into fame, and my view count still danced like my cortisol level. However, a subtle shift has occurred. It's in my mindset and my approach to creating. I'm no longer crippled by the fear of the process, true. That toxic attachment to perfection has dissolved. Yeah, kind of, mostly. I've shattered my shell, embracing new format that I was once uncomfortable with. I've learned to absorb criticism and consume contents more intentionally. Like one big thing I would say is, ever since I started to analyze other creators, I started to focus on like the logistics of things instead of like I consume the story, yes I do, but I also pay attention to things like lighting, how are they structuring their stories? What is their opening hook? Like how are they introducing the story arc? Like I feel like I am upgrading in a sense. Like I'm opening my eyes to look at the microscopic elements in these videos, in these contents. I've reconstructed my outlines, allocating time I once believed I didn't possess for daily editing and recording. Most importantly, I've reshaped my perspectives on risks and what ifs. I think the biggest takeaway for me is this fearless, well, not really fearless. I'm still fearful. I'm still scared of the uncertainties. But now, before I would overthink so much before I start to create a video or start brainstorming. I'm like, I don't know if this is feasible. I don't know if people would like to watch it. But now, since Project 50, I'm like, okay, just do it. Just try it. Like, if you think about something, you're like, I wonder maybe if I should do this. Just do it. Worst case scenario, hey, I've hit 45 views, okay? Nothing can hurt me. Unless if I get 10 views, which I think I have more than 10 friends. So if they all show up, at least I'll get more than 10 views, okay? If I make it to my heart's content, right? It's not a video that I will feel ashamed on. So if anyone else come into my channel and they watch that video and they say, I don't know why this only has 45 views, I would still feel proud of my creation because I know that I am 100% of my heart was in that video, so that if anyone at any time come back to my channel and look at it, I could present it proudly like, hey, I made this video. This is what I thought at the moment. So rather than contemplating on starting, just start. Because I think if I had to choose between not having any ideas or having ideas but I'm afraid to pursue them, I'd rather have ideas. I'd rather just pursue any idea that I have at any given time, because the alternative is so much more scarier. Like, imagine you have no idea, like nothing to make videos about. That's when that's when I really flatline, right? Where am I? I didn't finish. Okay. It's often the smallest changes that bring about the most significant shift. So don't throw in the towel before all the pieces fall into place. I'm glad I didn't. Truly, I'm glad I didn't. Take care. It's been a pleasure, and I'll see you real soon. So that was my mic drop moment. And then a lot of people ask me, how do you feel after your project finished? And I felt, empty on day 49, because it's like I have to let this thing go. A part of me is very happy because finally I get some rest, because summer camp is also finished and I could never survive. I would not have been able to survive creating and filming and editing and also sustaining myself while working without Taro's help. Like, he has been making bento for me every single day when I had intensive for like 4 weeks. So I was like, I'm happy to rest, but I'm scared that I'm gonna stop creating. I'm gonna lose this mindset. So these days I still try to wake up at like around 6 or 7, because that's kind of ingrained in my routine now, my circadian rhythm. And I wake up, I try to pick up color grading again. I kind of forgot how to color grade. And sequencing my current long form content. My projected timeline is that I will have this finished in 2 weeks, but we'll see. But I don't want to give myself more wiggle room because I don't want to fall back to my old self again. So yeah, that's where I am right now. It's wild. A part of me wants to start another series again, which the other side of me is like, Julie, are you insane? Like you just finished a 50-day project. Like, you want to do another one? Yeah, kind of want to do another one. And I was on Discord with my best friend the other day. And then she told me that I had inspired her to pick up content creating, which I'm super glad, because she hasn't been able to do so because like she's studying for this big test that she has to take for the next step of her life. And I'm like, hey, when the test is over, I'll be down to do a project together. So there's this book that we want to read. It's kind of like, shaping your mindset to be more positive, to be more like kind of like romanticizing your life in a sense, but it's like gives you a task every day for 28 days. So I'm like, hey, I finished a 50-day challenge. Girl, 28-day challenge. Hell yeah, I'm down. Like, I'll be able to do this with you. Like, that way we can keep each other accountable the way that Taro and I have done. So it's a bittersweet moment. And I just really, 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 I don't know if they will ever hear this. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But I'm just going to put this out in the universe. And my tagline is, the universe listen, so speak. So I'm going to speak. And I want to, again, thank everyone who has ever left a comment in my video on TikTok, on YouTube, on Instagram. Your words, you may think that it didn't really do anything, but it really, I'm tearing up. It really helped me a lot. Like every comment, every encouragement, criticism, suggestions I ever received, I am so, so thankful for you, because I can't even like wrap my head around why would you take your time to give it to someone like me, like give it to the content that I have. And thank you for congratulating me for completing my project, even though, I feel like sometimes it takes a lot for us to just leave a comment on YouTube, just leave a comment on like Instagram, on TikTok. Like most of the time I leave comments is to tag my friends for like funny reels. But, when you write something on the internet, it's like you're exposing like a vulnerable part of yourself too, because this was written by you, so it can track back to you. Like, oh, now I know this person has said these words. But you were okay to put that vulnerability aside to give me words of encouragement. So that I am forever thankful for. And thank you for being invested in my journey. I didn't think it would attract anyone else, to be honest. So I think I'm running in a loop. I'm saying the same thing over and over again. But that was everything I've learned from this challenge. I hope I answer like the WH question, the who, what, when, where, why. Who made it? Who made me start this journey? Taro. Where did I start? I started in Seoul. Who, what, when, where? Who, what? What did I do? I accomplished 5 goals and I shared my thoughts with the internet. Who, what, when, where, why? Why did I do it? I did it to get out of this creative rut that I was in. And in turn, I absorbed so many useful things from different content creators that I follow selectively, because I want to like curate my, I guess, vision board with like, that quote, good artist copy, great artist steal. Like in the sense, I want to make a Frankenstein, right? Pick up different things that I like from different creators and see how I could fit that into my storytelling style. Yeah. What else did I want to say as a conclusion? Honestly, I think that's it. Finally, drawing the curtain on yet another creation. It is episode 70. That is insane. I can't. What happens when I break 70? You know what? What I do need to do with podcasts is that I need to get back on my weekly update routine. I feel like I fell off the horse a little bit, giving you like a monthly update, which it's cool that I give you a lot of content to consume in one podcast, but also that is not consistent. I've been programmed to focus on consistency now. So let's see. Let's just hold me accountable here, okay? I'm not gonna buy Diablo 4 for you, but hold me accountable. Maybe. No, not maybe. I would definitely see you next weekend. Oh, which I start my last term at my current workplace next week. It's wild to think about. Still thinking about what my next step would be. I have been in Korea for 3 years now, once I complete this contract, which blows my mind. Oh my gosh, Uni is trying to drink my Yakult. Hey, Uni, hey. Don't make me go over there. Come. What are you doing? You want water? You have water in your thing. Hi. Come here. Come here. Hi. Come on, say something. If you don't say something, they're gonna think I'm crazy. Woody, come on. Meow. Be happy. If you meow, I'll give you a treat. She went away. She knew I was gaslighting her. Oh, some people have asked me if I was going to read stories again, because I used to read creepypasta stories from Reddit so that we can collectively shat our pants. Should I do that again? Because I have a lot of fun doing it. Let me know. I will do it if you want it. But I will do it if I wanted to, so yeah. Anyways, thank you for listening to the 70th that's my stomach, sorry. 70th episode of Lactose Intolerant. I had a lot of fun recapping everything I've done for this challenge and reviewed how my mindset, my approach to creating has changed. I'm still a little bit scared, to be honest, but there's that saying, the best is yet to come. So hopefully next time when I recap another creative project of mine, we will come across some new findings. But in the meantime, please stay safe. I have a lot of students who caught COVID again, and I even got really sick in the middle of this challenge, and I was really worried because I needed to heal, but I didn't have time to heal. But eventually everything worked out, and I didn't have to go to the clinic to get medicine, so thank goodness. But I hope you never get to that stage. Take breaks when you need to. Take vacations when you can. You deserve it. You are awesome. Don't overthink. If there's something that you want to create, just go for it. The rest, the universe, the algorithm can take care of that, but don't bury your ideas in the ground. Let them flourish, that's what they deserve. Okay, my stomach is really screaming at me. So I am gonna go and have a packet of shinramen, and I will see you next week. Thank you for your time, and